Hello there, my name is Rakesh and I'm a research scholar at the University of Wyoming. In this video, I'm going to talk about validity and reliability in qualitative research. This video will be in three parts, wherein I will cover all the various methods and ways to measure validity and reliability in qualitative research. All right, so let's begin. Okay, so let's do a brief recap about reliability and validity in quantitative research, and then we will talk about these constructs in qualitative research. So what is reliability in quantitative research? As you know, in research, we often do manipulation of variables and we measure the impact of those manipulation on other variables. So we often do measurements in research. So if we are using any measurement tool to measure a variable, we have to ensure that that measurement tool has a strong reliability. So reliability refers to consistency of a measurement tool. For example, let's say if I'm using intelligence test and I give this test to a participant today, and let's say he scores around 90. Now, if I give the same test to the same participant tomorrow, and let's say he scores 120, now do you think that this test is reliable? No, it is not. Because how could it possible that the same person who scores 90 yesterday and today is scoring 120? It means that this test is not reliable. This test has a poor reliability. So reliability refers to consistency of a measurement tool. What is validity? So validity refers to degree to which a measurement tool measures what it claims to measure. So again, take the same example. Let's say there is a test which claims that it measures intelligence. Now the question is, does this test really measures intelligence, or it measures something else, maybe memory? Or let's take another example. If there is a test which claims that it measures compassion. Now, does this test really measures compassion, or it measures something else such as empathy, sympathy, or pro-social behaviors? So validity refers to a degree to which a measurement tool measures what it claims to measure. So as researchers in quantitative research, we have to ensure that if we are using any kind of measurement tool, that has to have a strong reliability and validity. Now, talking about quantitative research is based on certain philosophical assumptions. What are those assumptions? First of all, there is a single objective reality. So in quantitative research, we assume that reality or truth is something which is very objective, and there is a single truth, single objective truth or reality. And the truth is something lying outside. As researcher, we go and explore and discover those truths. And the truth or reality that we are talking about is observable, stable, and measurable. So these are three basic assumptions that we use in quantitative research. I'm talking about these assumptions here because in qualitative research, we use different set of philosophical assumptions. So before we talk about those assumptions, let's understand what is qualitative research and why and where we use qualitative research design. So qualitative research is used when, as a researcher, we are interested in people's thoughts, feelings, experiences, perceptions, views. So if we want to explore these things, we use qualitative research design to explore these things. So qualitative research is based on certain philosophical assumptions. These philosophical assumptions are very different from what we just talked about in our previous slide when we talked about philosophical assumptions of quantitative research. So what are those assumptions? First of all, unlike the quantitative research, where we assume that there is a single objective reality, in qualitative research, we assume that there is no single objective reality. In fact, there are multiple realities or multiple interpretation of a phenomenon. Also, unlike the quantitative research, that where we assume that uh, reality is something lying outside, and as researcher you go and explore and discover those truths. In qualitative research, we assume that reality is socially constructed. It is not lying outside. We create those realities based on our interaction with the environment. To make it more clear, let me take a hypothetical example. So here I have this a research topic here that I just created, international student experiences in counselor education programs. As you can see that this topic explores international student experiences, and that is why it is very suitable uh, uh, for exploring it is very suitable to use qualitative research design to explore uh, international student experiences. So what do you think? Do you think when it comes to international student experiences, do you think there is a single reality, single truth? No, it is not. Students coming from various countries who are coming to United States and they enroll in counselor education programs, their experiences, yes, there might be some similarities, but there will be a lot of differences. So there is no single truth. There is no single reality. In fact, there could be multiple experiences, multiple, realities or truths when we talk about international student experiences. Also, the truth or reality is socially constructed. So it is not like the international student comes to they come to United States and then they discover this experience. No, actually, their truth or reality is based on their prior experiences, and also when they come here based on their social interaction with the communities, with faculty, with faculty, teachers, fellow students, administration. So the reality or the truth they experience is based on their interactions. So it is not something which is objective, single truth, or it is not something which is lying there and they come and discover. So this is what I want to tell you, that these assumptions, philosophical assumptions, are used in qualitative research. So since the philosophical assumptions of quantitative research and qualitative research are very different, we do not use the same words when we talk about reliability and validity. So in quantitative research, we talked about reliability and validity, but when it comes to reliability and validity in qualitative research, we use a different term, and this term is called trustworthiness. So as you will read more research articles in qualitative research, you will see the author is not going to talk about reliability and validity, although they refer the same thing, but they will use the word trustworthiness. So they will talk about, okay, what is the trustworthiness of the findings, right? So we use this term trustworthiness to refer to validity and reliability in qualitative research. In the next slides, I will be using the word trustworthiness, which means I'm talking about reliability and validity in qualitative research. So how do we measure the trustworthiness of a qualitative study, or what are the ways through which we can increase the trustworthiness of a qualitative study? Remember, I'm talking about reliability and validity, but in qualitative research, we use the word trustworthiness to denote reliability and validity of a qualitative study. So one of the most popular ways of calculating and increasing trustworthiness of a qualitative study is triangulation. The word triangulation is borrowed from navigational sciences. So in navigational sciences, if you have to locate the location of a point, you make measurements from various locations through angles and distance, and then you calculate the exact location of the point. In social science research, we use the word triangulation to refer to the trustworthiness of a qualitative study. Now, triangulation is of four kinds: data triangulation, investigator triangulation, theoretical triangulation, and multiple methods of data collection. So we are going to talk about each one of these triangulation method to enhance the trustworthiness of a qualitative study. Okay, so let's talk about the first method of triangulation, which is data triangulation. What is data triangulation? Data triangulation refers to collection of data from multiple sources. And to understand this, let's take the same example research topic that we used in the previous slide: international student experiences in counselor education programs. So let's say as a researcher, I'm interested to explore this topic. And I want to use data triangulation, which means that I need to collect data from multiple sources. So what I can do, first of all, I can contact the students who are enrolled in counselor education programs and international students, and then I can contact them and I can conduct individual interviews. So, and I collect the data from them. What else I can do? I can also go and talk to the international student office, because this is the place where most of the international students often go, share their experiences, and if they have any problems, they share. So what I can do, I can go and talk to the director of the international student office and say, hey, I'm doing this research, and I want to collect data from you in terms of how you think international student experience on this campus. So I can collect data from international student office as well. What else? What could be the other source of data that I can collect from? I can talk to the dean of student and say, hey, I'm doing this research where I'm uh, interested in exploring international student experiences who are enrolled in counselor education programs. Would you help me understand the academic performance of international students who are enrolled in counselor education programs here as compared to the other students? And I can collect data from dean of students in terms of the academic performance of international students. So you saw that I collected data about this topic from three sources. From students' interviews, I talked to the International Student Office, and I talked to the academic performance. So when I collect data from three sources, this is called data triangulation, collecting data from multiple sources. The second type of triangulation method is called investigator triangulation. So what we do in investigator triangulation, we use multiple investigators. For example, if I'm doing this research on international student experiences in counselor education programs, so one thing is, like, I can do research myself. I'm the only investigator who is collecting the data, who is analyzing the data. What else I can do? I can have some other team members on the research, and so having more than one researcher who are analyzing the data and collecting the data. So when you have multiple investigators, that really enhances the trustworthiness of the finding, because having one researcher, if I'm only analyzing the data, there might be some personal biases in when I'm in doing the analysis. But having another researcher, or having more than two researchers, having three researchers doing data analysis, can really help us to get, to minimize our personal biases. So the second type of triangulation that we use is investigator triangulation, which is using more than one researcher in collection and analysis of the data. The third type of triangulation that we use is called theoretical triangulation. What is theoretical triangulation? Theoretical triangulation is when I am collecting data and analyzing the data, I'm using a theory which is related to the concept, to the topic that I'm exploring, and using that theoretical lens, using that theory in my data analysis and interpretation process. So let me take the same example. So as a researcher, when I'm exploring international student experiences in consular education programs, I can use a theory which is in some way related to what I'm exploring. So here I'm exploring international students who are immigrant in the United States, and I'm exploring their experiences. So what I can do, I can find a theory which is related to this topic, and I can use the theory in analysis, data analysis, and interpretation of the data. So let's take this example. This is a theory which is called salad bowl theory. Now, this theory is about what happens when a newly arrived immigrants come to United States and how their integration to this American society looks like. So new migrant who comes to the United States, they do not lose the unique aspect of their own cultures. Instead, they retain them. The unique characteristics of each culture are still identifiable within the larger American society, much like the ingredients in a salad are still identifiable. So this theory, salad bowl theory, is very suitable, very appropriate to what I'm exploring international student experiences. So what I can do, I can use this theory as a theoretical triangulation when I'm collecting the data and analyzing the data. And this will enhance the trustworthiness of my study. Uh, Sometimes students find it difficult to find a suitable theory. Uh, yeah, sometimes it might be difficult, but in my experience, in every topic that we explore, you can really find something which might be related to the topic, and you can use that theoretical lens, that theory, as a way to enhance the process of your data analysis, and it makes it more and it enhances the trustworthiness of your findings. So theoretical triangulation is basically using a related theory, a framework in data collection and data analysis process. The fourth type of triangulation that we use to enhance trustworthiness of qualitative research is called multiple ways of data collection methods. So in multiple ways of data collection methods, what we do as a researcher, we collect data by using multiple methods. So let me take the same example of international student experiences in counselor education program. So what I can do, first of all, I can select, let's say, 10 participants who are international students and they are enrolled in counselor education programs. And I can conduct individual interviews. So I can talk to each participants individually and conduct interviews, in-depth interviews, and collect the data. What other methods I can adopt? So I can use focus group. What is focus group? So what I can do, I can call all these 10 participants together and conduct a group interviews. So group interviews are called focus group interviews. So this is the second method I can use to collect the data from the same 10 participants. What else I can do? I can go to the classes where these 10 students that I have selected for my study are studying. So I can go and observe these students in their classes. So what I did, I collected data from the same 10 participants through three methods: individual interviews, focus group interviews, and observation of participants in their natural setting. So this is called multiple ways of data collection methods, and it enhances the trustworthiness of qualitative research. So these are the 4 ways of triangulation that we talked about in this study, in this video. In the next video, I'll talk about more ways of enhancing, other ways of enhancing trustworthiness of qualitative research. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. In the next video, I'll see you again with the second part of reliability and validity in qualitative research. Till then, thank you so much and have a great time. Thanks. Bye-bye.